So we know there are significant levels of anxiety and depression for older people living in residential care homes, and this may be linked to loneliness. So although older people living in residential care homes are in theory surrounded by lots of other people, they may still feel lonely and socially isolated. They may have moved away from their local environment, and as we get older, our social networks shrink. This research came about through some consultation work we did for Essex County Council on an earlier running of the Creative Journeys series. They wanted to find out what impact the Creative Journeys, which involved arts activities, had on the residents and staff in the care homes where the activities had taken place.
We know that currently 1/5 of the Essex population is over 65, and this is due to increase by 1/3 by 2030. With an ageing population comes a range of long-term health conditions. Creative Journeys is therefore looking at how we can maintain meaningful relationships with each other and within our communities as our population ages.
We found from speaking to staff and residents that a common feeling that came out was that through taking part in the arts activities, staff felt they got to know the residents better, but also the residents felt they got to know other residents better and the staff better as well. So there's already quite a lot of research out there which has looked at the health and wellbeing impacts of arts activities on older people. But when you look at the literature, the main focus isn't about social relationships. They may report that it has been an impact on people's social networks and friendships, but it's been an incidental finding. So we've looked at 3 different arts organisations. Green Candle, they do dance. Age Exchange, they do performance theatre and other arts activities, and Orchestras Live, who do music making and composing with residents.
We found that participatory arts activities in care homes strengthened relationships between residents, but also between residents and staff members and residents and their families. The arts provided a topic of conversation, enabled individuals to get to know more about one another, and provided a shared experience which led to a sense of community. Residents reported developing friendships, and in one of the case studies, they described becoming like a little family. The arts activities also changed the dynamics of relationships between residents and staff members and residents and families. For example, staff and residents learning something new together allowed for more equal relationships, which facilitated bonding. Also, residents were more able to contribute to their relationships with family members when they visited or called by sharing the new experiences they'd had and new skills that they'd developed.
We looked at how participatory arts activities led to these strengthened relationships. The participatory element was important in bringing people together for a common purpose and providing a structured opportunity for interaction. There was a unique power of the arts that focused on the existing interests and strengths of the residents and captured their creativity. Arts activities could be pitched and adapted to suit all capacities so that residents could participate, express themselves and connect with others in new and different ways. This included giving space for meaningful memories as well as emotions. There was also lots of mutual learning, not only in the care home context, but also between the arts organisations in how they work with older people.
Throughout this film, we've seen ways in which the arts organisations have worked creatively in care home contexts. We've also seen and heard about the perceived impact on relationships between residents in homes, between residents and the care staff, and importantly, with the wider community. We have 4 key messages from our research. First of all, we can see that arts activities impact positively on staff, relatives and residents and strengthen their relationships. Secondly, arts activities have the potential to break down boundaries between care homes and the wider community. Thirdly, participatory arts have a role in reducing social isolation and loneliness for older people, particularly in care home contexts. And fourthly, participatory arts have unique qualities that enable older people to express themselves creatively and make meaningful contributions to the relationships and contexts in which they are living. Importantly, arts activities can be adapted and they can be flexible. This means that they can be inclusive for older people who are becoming increasingly frail. We intend to impact on commissioning decisions both at the regional and indeed the national level to ensure that investment is made in arts and cultural activities that will enhance the lives of older citizens.
I think it's terrific. I think it's good. She's lovable. You can't help but like Vicky. She's a good teacher. and I just think it should continue because I really do enjoy it.
What do you feel the benefits for you, Shirley?
The benefit for me is that, I mean, I know everybody, but it makes everybody mix more, doesn't it? Because some of them are here, they're hello one day and ignore another day, which is no good, is it? When you get down there, everybody's the same, isn't it? They all want to enjoy it. It's not just the exercise, it's the company and the enjoyable you get out of it. I would miss it. I would miss it if you stopped coming, darling. I would, that's the truth. No, I like it here. I'm one of the people that do like it here, darling.